Vibhavari Shesha Loka Provisha Nidra Chariyuto Jiva
Vibhavari Shesha Loka Provisha Nidra Chariyuto Jiva
Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hare Krishna Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nastapraeshu Vavadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. You just want me to speak something about Jagannath?
Yes.
Okay. So, Lord Jagannath is
Is Hare Krishna devotees? Can you hear okay? Everybody can hear? It's okay. You see, because simultaneously today there are almost morning and evening the different dancers they come and dance in front of Jagannath. So this is what happened today, you know. They have almost 100 performances today, 100. So already, you know, later on we can all see the performances now, but this is now our time to hear about the glories of Jagannath. So we continue like this. I see whether we can put the volume a little down over there. That's all. We will try. Hare Krishna.
okay, so we'll try. So Lord Jagannath, we know how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent 18 years residing in Jagannath Puri, and every day, early in the morning, he would like to go to the temple and he would see Lord Jagannath. And he would see Lord Jagannath, he would usually stand at the Garuda Staba and look up towards Lord Jagannath. And when he would look at Lord Jagannath, he would see Lord Jagannath as Krishna. He would see him in a three-pole bending form, playing the flute with the peacock feather. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would see Lord Jagannath as being Lord Krishna. But Lord Jagannath is Bhakta Vatsala, which means he reciprocates with the devotees according to their devotion. Someone may worship Lord Jagannath in the mood of Vrindavan, just like I said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was worshipping Lord Krishna. He would see Krishna as Shamsundar, playing the flute with a peacock feather in his hair, decorated with forest flowers. He would see Lord Jagannath as a cowherd boy. But other people, they would see Lord Jagannath in a different way. Some people would see Lord Jagannath in the mood of opulence. In Vrindavan, the mood is sweetness, madhurya. But in Dwarka, the mood is Aishwarya. So Lord Jagannath is also seen like that. He's seen in the eyes of a devotee of Lord Krishna from Dwarka. They will see Lord Jagannath as Krishna in Dwarka. Now Krishna in Dwarka, he's not a cowherd boy anymore. He's become a prince. And he's wearing nice clothes and ornaments, very opulent, very well decorated. So when the gopis of course, when they saw Krishna at Kurukshetra, they did not like that. When they saw Krishna coming at Kurukshetra, you know, it's described in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam how on one occasion there was an eclipse. So, when there's an eclipse, it's considered inauspicious. And people will take advantage of that time to go and do ritualistic ceremonies, to go and do yajnas, and to give charity to the sages and the brahmanas. So Lord Krishna had been residing in Dwarka and he wanted to go to Kurukshetra to observe the eclipse. Kurukshetra, we know from Bhagavad Gita, it says Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Kurukshetra is a Dharma Kshetra, place of Dharma. It's been a place of sacrifice for many, many thousands of years. The great sages performed austerities and sacrifices there. So Lord Krishna, when he understood that there's an eclipse coming, he decided to come to Kurukshetra to perform some sacrifices. And he came there with all of the great sages and brahmanas. But not only that, he also invited people from Vrindavan to come. Particularly, Lord Krishna invited the gopis. Because when Lord Krishna left Vrindavan, initially Lord Krishna left Vrindavan to go to Mathura to take part in the wrestling match. At that time, he promised the gopis that I'm definitely coming back. He told them, I'm definitely coming back. So Lord Krishna had not been able to come back so far. And when Lord Krishna went to Mathura, the gopis didn't go there. The gopis stayed in Vrindavan. And it was mostly cowherd boys and Nanda Maharaj who all went to Mathura. So now Lord Krishna is coming to Kurukshetra, so he sent a message to Vrindavan to say it would be very nice if the gopis can come and meet me there at Kurukshetra. We have not seen each other for a long time. So Lord Krishna, he had left Mathura and he had gone to Dwarka. And when he was in Dwarka, he married his different wives. First of all, there was Rukmini, and then he was given Jambavati, and he was given Satyabhama, and like that, the different wives, the 8 principal wives, and then the 16,100 wives came, who were all princesses who'd been kidnapped by Bhaumasura. So this way Lord Krishna had so many wives, but he brought them with him when he went to Kurukshetra. they all came there to meet with the people from Vrindavan. So Lord Krishna came. He's no more a cowherd boy. Now he is a prince coming from Dwarka. And he is dressed in nice clothes. You know, when you live in the village, like Vrindavan, it's simple life. You don't get the best cloth. You don't have nice, colorful clothes like people who live in the city. People living in the countryside, they will wear very simple dress. And Krishna, as a cowherd boy, he was also a typical cowherd boy. He decorated himself with the things from the countryside, the wild flowers which grow there, and the different minerals which were produced from the earth. They were his cosmetics. And of course the feathers, the peacock feathers, because there's a lot of peacocks there in Vrindavan. Especially in the time of Lord Krishna, there were many peacocks. Nowadays, you don't see the peacocks so much. They've moved away because Vrindavan has become so congested with people. Anyway, when the gopis came to Kurukshetra and they saw Lord Krishna, it was a different Krishna they were seeing. And the gopis were not satisfied. They thought, this Kurukshetra, this is not a very nice place. Very noisy, the rumbling of chariots, the different soldiers going back and forward on their chariots, and elephants moving around, and then so many military people are there, Kurukshetra. So the gopis were not very much happy to be there, and there was no Yamuna. There was no Yamuna river, there was no Govardhan hill. So they were missing all the beauty of Vrindavan, all the colorful trees and the parrots which are there sitting in the trees. All of these things they added to the beauty of Vrindavan. So the gopis were there in Kurukshetra, and then they saw Lord Krishna, and it was a disappointment for them. They had not seen him for a long time. And of course, they had heard that Krishna had married. And so they saw so many changes in Krishna. Just like maybe you come from a village, maybe in Russia you come from some village and you go to Moscow and you live in Moscow for some time, and then after some time you go back to the village and you know you've got married and you're a different person. People say, oh, you've changed so much. So Lord Krishna came to Kurukshetra, and the gopis saw him and they were thinking, oh, Krishna has changed so much. And they thought, we're not so much attracted to this Krishna. We want the Krishna we know, the Krishna from Vrindavan. So the gopis, they were attracted to the Krishna in Vrindavan. Of course, not everyone wants Krishna in Vrindavan. There's also pure devotees in Dwarka, just like Uddhava. Uddhava is one of the associates of Lord Krishna. And he's usually staying in Dwarka with Lord Krishna there, as Lord Krishna's secretary and advisor. He's there. But Uddhava is a great devotee. And Narada, he is a Vaikuntha-vasi. But Narada Muni, he doesn't usually get too much involved in Vrindavan. His place is more Vaikuntha. He also is, he likes, enjoys the opulence. So different devotees, they're attracted to different features of Lord Krishna. Just like one time, one man came to see Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, but he was saying, you know, I don't like this Jagannath, I'm more attracted to Ganesh. I like Ganapati. He is my Lord. You know, there are many people, many devotees of Lord Ganesh, and they worship Lord Ganesh a lot. And there's even temples of Ganesh. You know, they consider Lord Ganesh to be the Supreme Lord. So this one man, he came to see Jagannath, but actually he's saying, I'm more attracted to Ganesh. And when he came to see Lord Jagannath, he saw Lord Jagannath in a Ganesh form. But Lord Jagannath also has a special dress, even to this day, in commemoration of this pastime. One day in the year, they will dress the Jagannath deities in a dress where Lord Jagannath, Lord Balaram and Subhadra all appear like Ganesh, like with the elephant head and trunk. So this is the reciprocation from Lord Jagannath. He likes to relate to the different moods of his devotees. You want to worship the Lord in opulence, you can do it. And the people who are in that mood, they will offer, a lot of opulence. Even we see, for example, generally the Sri Vaishnavas, they like to worship Lord Vishnu because they will worship him with so much opulence. They will decorate him with valuable jewels and a lot of gold, and they will chant many mantras. So the whole mood is Aishwarya. And Lord Krishna, he accepts it, but of course we know Lord Krishna, he likes more the intimacy and the friendship with his devotees. So Lord Jagannath, he's open to different devotees' mood. Whatever mood you have, then the Lord will reciprocate with that. You like to worship the Lord in opulence, he will allow you. And if you like to worship the Lord in the mood of Vrindavan, where it's more simple and less opulent, but more intimate, then Lord Jagannath will also happy to receive that kind of worship. So this is the special nature of Lord Jagannath. Generally we think of Lord Krishna and we think of him as being the resident of Vrindavan and the cowherd boy. But Lord Jagannath, he can be cowherd boy, he can be the Prince of Dwarka, he can even be somebody like Ganesh. He can accommodate the different moods of the different devotees. And anybody who is not devoted to Jagannath, then if they happen to be there in Jagannath Puri, they will be told to go. the people of Jagannath Puri will come and they'll tell him, get out from here, you're not welcome in this place. Because the people of Jagannath Puri are so staunch devotees of Lord Jagannath. They do not tolerate, they do not allow the atheists to come and intrude in the atmosphere which is full of devotion for Lord Jagannath. So in ISKCON we also worship Lord Jagannath, of course. Srila Prabhupada, as a young child, he also worshipped Jagannath. And when the devotees began to worship Jagannath in San Francisco, he was happy and he gave them many instructions how to organize the festivals. Over the years, we have had some problems. The people in Jagannath Puri, they have some complaints about us. One of the complaints which they had is that we do not observe the Rath-yatra on the proper day. There's an actual date on the Vaishnava calendar which is meant for performing the Rath-yatra. But in Krishna conscious movement, we utilize the Rath-yatra festival more for a preaching program, more for propaganda. In Jagannath Puri, it's a tradition which they're upholding. And we're simply imitating the tradition for the sake of our own preaching purposes. So there was some objection from the Pandits there in Jagannath Puri. They did not like that we do Rath-yatra on days which are convenient for us. Just like if you want to have Rath-yatra in New York, you will have to do it on a Sunday, because Sunday businesses close and it's easy to have a Rath-yatra. You can have a big procession and it's not a big problem. Similarly in other countries, I know in Thailand, in Bangkok, that we have to do Rath-yatra on Sunday because the roads are always full of traffic, and Sunday is the only possible day where you could get a little time to have some procession. So like that, in different parts of the world, we have to adjust the program. People in Jagannath Puri, they were very upset. So to accommodate them, all the temple presidents in India, at least in our temples in India, they agreed that we will only do Rath-yatra on the actual day of Rath-yatra, according to the calendar. So that's happening now in the last few years in India. On the actual day, we have the Rath-yatra festival. And in Calcutta, they do it very nicely. They have the procession, and then they have a festival for 1 week, and then they have a return Rath-yatra. Just like in Jagannath Puri, there's a procession to the Gundicha, and then the Lord stays there for 1 week, and then he will come back. After the Gundicha, after the 1 week he'll come back, there'll be a return Rath-yatra. So in Calcutta, at least they're managing to do that, and they have a nice response. In the course of the Rath-yatra, hundreds of thousands of people come and visit, and they get prasadam, and they get an opportunity to also hear the glories of the Lord from the devotees. From early in the morning till late at night for 1 week, the devotees are there, and there's a lot of programs go on. Cultural programs, lectures, questions and answers, many different events, and of course, huge distribution of prasada. So like that, the festival also begins in Calcutta. The Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee, will come and give a speech to inaugurate the Rath Yatra. So it's quite successful. It's not always so easy for the temples to put on these festivals. Of course, it takes a lot of money. It's a big expense. We had a program one time in London. In London, you know, we were always struggling financially, and it was always that because we were supporting the temple by book distribution. In the beginning, our only income came from selling books, and we could not distribute very many books. Anyway, the time came for Rath Yatra, and so they requested one devotee to take charge of putting on the Rath Yatra festival. But they told them, we cannot give you any money, you have to get your own money. So happened, Lord Jagannath arranged that this devotee who was in charge of the Rath Yatra festival, somebody in his family died. And when they died, they left an inheritance, and he got a nice sum of money given to him. So he said, Lord Jagannath has given me this money, I will use all of it for Rath Yatra. So they put on a very big Rath Yatra. They put posters all over London. They have many different things to advertise the festival. And they had a big chariot, huge chariot, a lot of decorations and a lot of prasada. And Srila Prabhupada came, and he was surprised because he knew that we were always struggling, we never had funds. And he said, how did you do it? Where did you get the money from? So they told Prabhupada, he said, oh, this one devotee who was in charge, he got an inheritance, and he used all the money for the Rath Yatra. So Srila Prabhupada said, oh, very good. Money has been spent very well. Money well spent. That was Prabhupada's remark. So he appreciated. He did not like us to be miserly when it comes to putting on these kind of festivals. He liked us to give everything for the service of the Lord. And you can see that similar mood. You know, we were at Panihati and we were hearing about Raghava Pandit. So Raghava Pandit, he was like that also in his worship of the Lord. He did not spare any expense for the service of his worshipful deities. He would even go far away to bring the best fruits and the best coconuts to offer to the Lord. So when we worship Lord Jagannath, we should also be careful to offer nice things for the pleasure of Lord Jagannath. Nice fruits, nice vegetables, everything should be first class. Lord Jagannath will appreciate the care which we take in offering to him. The deities at Rajapur, of course, we have the Jagannath deities there, and there are many pastimes there with those Jagannath deities. They're very powerful deities. If somebody comes and they're giving the prasad of Lord Jagannath, and if they throw it away, if they don't honor it properly, then sometimes the Lord will come in a dream and the Lord will beat them. So this happens. There was this one man, I think he was a non-Hindu. So he was given some prasad and he did not honor it, just threw it away. So that night, the three lords came. And the man remembered everything in the dream. He said, the white one was hitting me. And the yellow one was saying, yeah, beat him. And then the black one, he came also and they were laughing and beating me. And he became a devotee. He changed because he understood how powerful these deities were. So Lord Jagannath is very special. You have to deal very carefully when you worship Lord Jagannath. So, in Rajapur there, these deities have many pastimes, how they have reciprocated with the different devotees. Sometimes people were stealing from the deities and they got severe reactions. They suffered sickness. And other people came and they prayed for things, just like one elderly woman came and she wanted a child, she had no child, and although she was elderly, she was praying, and soon she got a child. Soon she was able to conceive by the grace of Lord Jagannath. So these kind of pastimes are regular there at Rajapur. The deities are very powerful. They hear our prayers. Shankaracharya, he composed the Jagannath-katha, and of course every verse ends Jagannatha Swami, Nayanapatagami Baba to me. O Lord of the universe, kindly be visible unto me. So like that, we should also pray to Lord Jagannath, kindly be visible to me. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Naham prakasha savatma yogamaya samavrita mudo yam navajanati lokamam hajam avyayam. I am never manifest to the foolish and the unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my eternal creative potency, Yoga Maya. So, foolish and unintelligent people, they won't be able to see the Lord. They don't have that transcendental vision. They're not blessed. But Shankaracharya, in his prayers of Jagannath-katha, he is requesting the Lord, kindly be visible unto us. And he, of course, he's addressing him as Lord of the universe. Of course, he's not just Lord of this universe, he's Lord of the whole creation. So we worship Lord Jagannath, and it's up to every devotee to decide what should be your mood in worshiping him, how we can approach him, how we can offer more service to him. Lord Jagannath will reciprocate. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ye yatamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajami. As you surrender to me, I reward you accordingly. So it's up to us. How do we want to surrender to the Lord? How do we want to approach Him? And the Lord knows our heart, and He can arrange for us so that we can approach Him more and more. So we want to encourage the worship of Lord Jagannath. We can see it's become more and more popular over the years. Initially, the worship of Lord Jagannath was not known. At one point, even the temple at Puri was invaded. And the people who invaded it, they thought, this is Buddha. They thought this was a Buddha. They did not understand who is this personality. So people often are confused about the identity of Lord Jagannath, and the people with him, they see them in different ways. Lord Jagannath is very merciful. He can accept all of their worship. We can make some nice offering for his pleasure, and the Lord accepts it. At one point, Ramanujacharya had gone to Jagannath Puri, and he was not happy with how the Lord was being worshipped there, because many of the people, many of those engaged in the worship of Lord Jagannath, they are not very strict. They're often eating fish, because Jagannath Puri is on the coast, so people eat fish there. They eat all kinds of forbidden food. So Shankaracharya was not happy with the standards there at Jagannath Puri, and he went and he approached the king of Puri at that time, and he told the king, "We have to do something. You have to call all the brahmanas, and I will instruct them, I will tell them how they have to worship Lord Jagannath properly." So the king said, "All right, come back tomorrow." Ramanujacharya was very powerful. He was very well known. He had thousands of disciples and 300 sannyasis, all serving him, all helping him in his mission. So the king of Puri told Ramanujacharya, "Come back tomorrow. I will call all the brahmanas, all the pandas to come tomorrow, and you can instruct them." So the next day, all the brahmanas and pandas all gathered in the court of the king. The only person who was not there was Ramanujacharya. And what had happened to Ramanujacharya? That night, while Ramanujacharya was in his sleep, Lord Jagannath came and he picked up Ramanujacharya and he transported him out of Jagannath Puri, and he took him to Kurmakshetra. Kurmakshetra. It's a place, it's not very far away from Jagannath Puri. If you go to Jagannath Puri and then you go down south towards Visakhapatnam, it's about halfway between Puri and Visakhapatnam. Kurmakshetra, Lord Chaitanya had his pastime there with the Kurmakshetra Brahman. So what happened was, Lord Jagannath picked up Ramanujacharya, took him out of Jagannath Puri and put him in Kurmakshetra. He did not want Ramanujacharya interfering in his worship. This is the power of Lord Jagannath, that he could take even a personality, such a great personality as Ramanujacharya, he could take him out and send him and put him in another place. He would not allow him to interfere in his worship. So this is the mercy of Lord Jagannath, that he arranges so that his devotees can worship him in the manner in which they like. Tamal Krishna Goswami wrote very wonderfully the drama Jagannath Natikam, and there he describes how the Sabaras are worshipping. Sabaras mean people who are taking care of the pigs. They're called Sabara. The Sabaras, they take care of all the pigs. But they also have a service in the worship of Lord Jagannath. They're engaged in the worship of Lord Jagannath because from the appearance of Lord Jagannath, the king of the Sabaras, he was worshipping Nilamadeva. Nilamadeva was the original form of the Lord. And then after Nilamadeva, then Nilamadeva disappeared and the Lord came as Jagannath. So the Sabaras, because the Sabara king, he was a devotee of Lord Jagannath. So the Sabaras, they are also engaged in the worship of Lord Jagannath. And all the cooking is done. Every day they cook on earthen pots. All the prasadam is cooked on earthen pots. And if anybody goes in the temple who is not a Hindu, then the whole temple has to be purified. And all the food which is prepared for the offering, it's thrown away. So if anybody goes into the temple who is not a Hindu, it's a very big thing, it's a big disturbance. And they will beat him, and they get very angry. Because the whole temple has to be cleaned and purified from top to bottom. And all the different foodstuffs which they've prepared for the offering, all has to be thrown away and they have to cook again. So, we have to be very careful, we have to respect these things. Those of us who are not Hindus, we should not intrude into their private affairs. Srila Prabhupada also didn't go to the temple in our time. He thought my disciples are not allowed into the temple, so he said, I don't want to go. He said, we will build our own temple. And so you can see temple has come up. Yeah? Somebody has built this nice temple, so we are using the facilities. Right? This is an example given in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Krishna is instructing Uddhava in the Uddhava Gita. So Lord Krishna is telling Uddhava about the meeting between Yadu, Maharaj Yadu, and the Avanti one Brahmana, Avadhuta Brahmana. And this Avadhuta Brahmana was very renounced, very detached, but he was a young man. And so Yaduraj was wondering, how is it somebody who's so young and good health and good looking, that he has no interest in material life? He doesn't want to get involved in any material activities. So Maharaj Yadu was asking the Avadhuta, how did you do it? What's your secret? And so the Avadhuta Brahmana explained, he said, Maharaj Yadu thought, who's your guru? And the Avadhuta Brahmana said, I have 24 gurus, all from different aspects of the material nature. And one of the gurus was a snake. And what do you learn from the snake? The snake has the ability that it will not make a home for itself. It will take somebody else's home for his residence. The mouse may build a hole for itself. The snake will enter the hole, eat the mouse, and live in the hole. So Prabhupada said, just like us as devotees, he said, we didn't make the trouble to build this big temple, but we're coming here and we're enjoying and we're using it. Krishna is providing for us. So Jagannath has reciprocated with our desire to have a nice temple for his worship. By the grace of the government of Bengal, we can all come here and worship Lord Jagannath. So this is Bhakta Vatsala Jagannath. Hare Krishna. Maybe Maharaj wants to say something. Are there any questions, anybody? Anybody? Any questions? Any comments?
Спасибо за лекцию. Большой храм, красивый, говорят, что это копия Джаганнатha-katha. Нет, дайте приблизительно английский, чтобы вам слышать. Я потом переведу. Спасибо за лекцию. Большой храм. Говорят, что это копия точно Jagannatha-katha. Нас не пускают в храм Jagannatha-katha. И мы не можем точно знать, действительно ли это копия, насколько она копия. Но по ощущениям, чисто субъективно, возможно, я не чувствую здесь той силы храма, любви и преданности, которая есть в Jagannatha-katha, даже когда мы не заходим туда. И вот вопрос, что здесь происходит? Действительно ли здесь бхакти и преданность формируются, культивируются в сердцах преданных приходящих, либо это просто концепт? Микрофон. Махарик. А что выключилось? Hare Krishna, this temple is a replica of temple in Jagannath-puri, but we are not allowed to come into Jagannath-puri's temple, in the original temple. We cannot come into it. And how can we understand, is it really a replica of Jagannath-puri's temple? Because as for me, Mataji said, I cannot feel the same mood as in the original Jagannath-puri's temple. I cannot feel such a bhakti mood, such a... yes, no so much bhakti, so much worshipping mood like in original Jagannatha's temple. And my question is, what happened in this temple? How can we understand in what, how much is it really the replica of Jagannatha's temple? Is it possible to increase our love to God in this temple, or is it only the show? Mataji said.
Yes, it's possible if you, by your own consciousness, you have to understand it's the same Jagannath, just because Lord Jagannath is there in Jagannath-puri, so Lord Jagannath is here also in this place. So, Lord Jagannath is one, but he's appearing in many different places. He's the Lord of the universe, he's everywhere, but he's manifest here in this temple. So, you want to understand Lord Jagannath more here, and how this temple is a replica? Wherever Lord Jagannath is being worshipped, it's a replica of Jagannath-puri. It's up to the devotee, your own consciousness. If you're thinking some different, you think the Lord changes just because of different building? Oh, we have to have a very big building. We may have a very small building, a very small temple, a very simple altar. But it's the same Lord Jagannath. He is one. He's appearing in many different places. Devotional service does not depend. It does not depend on the material facilities. We do not judge. We do not judge the presence of the Lord just by the material facilities. What's important is our devotion. Devotional service has nothing to do with material facilities. Right? We're worshiping Lord Krishna. Now, the more, of course, we have to be more advanced. For some people, they have to have the big temple, they have to feel so much popular, then they think, oh, that's God. Then it's easier to think. But for somebody who is more advanced, they can see Krishna in the very simple temple, very basic temple. And just like kirtan, sometimes people want, oh, kirtan should be very big, should be many people, should be very melodious, should be very expert. But other people, they make the kirtan very simple, very basic, not very, but devotion is there. And the holy name, just like prasadam, somebody wants a big feast, and somebody is happy just to get tulsi and a little piece of fruit. They'll say prasadam. It's a consciousness. It's up to us to have that consciousness, to feel the presence of the Lord in everything. We have to have that vision to see Krishna. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yomam Pashati Sarvatra Sarvam Chamai Pashati Tasyaham Na Pranashami Satamaya Pranashati. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost to him, nor is he ever lost to me. So this is a vision of the Uttama, the advanced devotee. So we have to come up to that level. We have to come up to the higher stage. Don't be dependent always on material facilities. Sometimes you may have nice material facilities, all very opulent prasadam, all beautiful temple, and nice. And other times it can be very simple. You cannot be so much attached to the material facilities, the surroundings. You have to see Lord Krishna everywhere, in everything. So this is important. Everything depends on our own consciousness. We have to understand Lord Krishna is there. Oh yes, Jagannath-puri temple is so big, so magnificent. And we may have very simple little altar. You may have a cotton Jagannath. Your Jagannath may be made out of cotton, whatever. But it's the same Lord Jagannath. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was staying in Sri Rangam, he carved Jagannath deities for himself. Little deities carved by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they're worshipped here today. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood the Lord's there in everything. It's not just having the big deity. Oh, we have a small deity here, not very good. It doesn't change the worship of the Lord. Consciousness is important. Yes?
Jagannatha wants to know if you can please tell us a little bit of the original pastime of how Lord Jagannath manifested this form from the pastime of Lord Krishna, how Lord Jagannath manifested this form with his sister Subhadra and Lord Baladev.
when Lord Krishna was living in Dwarka, he had all of his wives there, and he knew Lord Krishna was feeling very much separation from Vrindavan. They could understand Lord Krishna is feeling very much the pain in his heart, being separate from the devotee, from the people of Vrindavan. So the people in Dwarka, they didn't know. And they were hearing Lord Krishna in his sleep. He would mention different names. He would talk about Subal and Rishabha and Radha and Satyabhama, not Satyabhama, and Radha and Chandravali, different names he would mention. And the people in Dwarka thought, who are these people? We are hearing Krishna say these names, but we don't know who are these people. So the only person who had seen Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan was Lord Balaram's mother, Rohini. Rohini was one of the wives of Vasudeva, and she was the mother of Lord Balaram. Rohini was sent to Nanda Maharaj's home in Vrindavan for her safety, because Kamsa was persecuting everybody connected to Krishna. So they wanted to protect Rohini from Kamsa. So she was sent to Vrindavan. And she gave birth to Lord Balaram in Vrindavan. And she was there to see all of the childhood pastimes of Lord Krishna, because she's the mother of Balaram. And it was only after Krishna killed Kamsa, and then he freed Vasudeva and Devaki, and at that time then he brought Rohini also, and they all went together to Dwarka. So Rohini was there in Dwarka, and they asked Rohini, we want you to tell us all about Lord Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. So Rohini said, well, all right, I can do it, but we have to be very careful. If Krishna will hear, it will be very painful for him. We don't want to hear. He won't want, it's too painful. It will break his heart to hear about the people in Vrindavan. So you have to be very careful. But she said, I'm willing to tell you, but we have to be careful. Put somebody guard the door. And don't let Lord Krishna come in. So they thought, no. They said, no problem, we will arrange. We'll have Lord Balaram can guard the door, or Subhadra, we can guard the door, make sure Krishna does not come. So Rohini had everyone assembled, and Rohini began to speak. And she was telling everybody about Vrindavan. And people were amazed, everywhere became wow. And what happened was, Lord Balaram was standing in the back there with Subhadra. They also became amazed, and they didn't notice Krishna came in, and Krishna stood with them at the back, and they were standing there, and they were hearing about Vrindavan. And as Rohini spoke, their eyes became whoa. Their eyes became bigger, and their arms and their legs shrunk into their bodies. This is the ecstasy of hearing about Vrindavan. When the arms and legs shrink into the body, and the eyes are dilated, this is the sign of great ecstasy. And this ecstasy came about when Lord Krishna was hearing all his pastimes in Vrindavan. So,